My future mother-in-law doesn't want her son to marry me because I am defective. I have a medical condition where my kidneys only function at 30% capacity, so I'll need dialysis eventually and can't have children safely. On the positive side, I've learned to appreciate every healthy day I get. My boyfriend David and I had known about this since we were 20 and talked through all the implications. While disappointed about kids, we were excited about adoption someday. We'd been together for 8 years, best friends since high school who fell in love during college. Neither of us had ever wanted anyone else. We finally decided to get engaged because my condition was progressing, and we wanted to be married before any major medical procedure started. His mother somehow learned about my kidney issues from a family friend. When she confronted me directly, she told me I was being selfish by trapping her son with someone who couldn't give him a normal family. She started calling relatives, asking them not to support our engagement because she didn't want David stuck with someone who'd become a burden. She even made cruel comments about how I was wasting his good genetics. His father was supportive, as were most family members, but she was absolutely relentless in her campaign against me. David said while he loved his mother, he was considering not inviting her to avoid the drama. We even talked about eloping to escape her interference completely. Then came the family dinner from hell. David and his father planned to sit down with her and end this nonsense once and for all. I stayed at my apartment thinking my absence would help them have an honest conversation. I was completely wrong. When David came back that night, everything had changed. Despite all our previous discussions, he suddenly said he'd been thinking about having biological children, and if I couldn't provide that, maybe we should reconsider. That sounds like your mother talking, not you, I said, confused and hurt. I can think for myself, he replied coldly. Maybe she has valid points I hadn't considered before. It turned into the worst fight we'd ever had. I packed my stuff and went to my parents' house that same night. The next morning, I called in sick to work, lying in bed wondering how 8 years could disappear overnight because of one manipulative conversation. Later, I pieced together what really happened. When David told his mother about our engagement plans, she asked if we were rushing because I was pregnant, assuming that was the only reason to marry after dating so long. When he explained I couldn't have children and told her about my kidney condition, she said, "Absolutely not. This engagement is not happening." She took the family ring he'd planned to give me and locked it away. The next day, she started her psychological warfare, calling me damaged goods, telling David he deserved someone whole and healthy who could give him the family he'd always dreamed of. I gave my notice at work and started planning my exit strategy. My last day was March 15th. On April 1st, my parents helped me move across the country to stay with my aunt in Oregon until I could start fresh somewhere new. The aftermath destroyed David completely. He lost his job from missing work due to depression, had to sell our house because he couldn't afford it alone, started drinking heavily, and got into public arguments with his mother about ruining his life. His best friend told me later that David realized too late what he'd lost, and that his mother had manipulated him during his most vulnerable moment. When David finally called me in Oregon, sobbing and begging me to come back, promising that adoption was enough and he'd made a terrible mistake, I told him the truth. "You made your choice, David. Your mother or me. I hope you're happy with the decision. She got exactly what she wanted, me out of her son's life forever."